Maddie, you hold it. Pull it like that. Oh, really,
Wow. The Dalton family were a crazy, wild bunch. Oh. We grew up in a very active sporting household. When you've got two parents that were former world champions, we were bound to be pushed into some sort of sport. And between Charlie, Maddie and I think we played every sport under the sun. Super busy lifestyle. We were running here, there and everywhere, but there was always something going on in our house. We always had people round. I'd say the two biggest sports for me was surf lifesaving and netball, actually. I think Mum having been a netballer, Dad surf lifesaving, you know, you always want to follow in their footsteps, and I loved it. The little nippers on the beach days, getting out in the water, and then netball's always just been a joy for me. The love of sport was something huge in our family. The three of us kids, we had all our regular trainings. Mum was playing a touch game actually. Don't know how she ended up in a touch team, but she did. And we went home that afternoon and something was really weird. Nana and Papa that were there and we're like, that's odd. Someone from my mum's touch team came to our house and they were all just being really weird. I was like, something's not right. And then we found out that Mum was in hospital and we're like, that's weird. Mum's, you know, the healthiest, fittest person we know. Dad didn't come home that night and I was just like, something's not right here. And we walk into the hospital the next day and you go into that room and you see the strongest person you know, the fittest, the bubbliest, all wired up. Yeah, it wasn't Mum when I walked in there, that wasn't Mum. And when you've got the nurses looking at you like saying she's probably not going to make it, it's like, that's just not true. So for a 15, a 12 and a 9-year-old to go into a room like that and see your mum covered in wires, connected to life support, it's not a nice feeling. For that week, we were pretty much at the hospital 24/7, and that's where we're just so lucky to have the support system we did. No one left our sides. Dad was in, you know, he was in his own zone, but all of his friends were there, Mum's friends were there, wrapping us around with love, and I spent a lot of time by Mum's bed, and while she wasn't there, she was. Every time I'd hold her hand, she'd give a little squeeze back, and I knew she was there. You know, you're just getting confused because there's no signs of her getting better, and then you start to think, oh God, what's going on? And they're like, look, there's a chance she might not make it, but you're like, but this is Tania Dalton. Mum's not the normal person. You're hanging in there, you're praying, you're hoping. And then at the end of that week, when we all got called into the hospital room, and they pretty much said to us that we're gonna have to take her off life support, I just remember we were just all broken. When we did take her off life support, typical Mum, still finding a way to breathe on her own. But yeah, those last few breaths, we played Sweet Caroline, sung with her, and then we had to say goodbye. And I just remember getting in the car with my dad and my brothers, and the boys and I just look at Dad, and Dad was just like, honestly kids, I don't know how we're gonna make it through, but we're gonna. He said, we've got this, we're gonna stick together, and we drove out of that hospital and we had no clue where we were going, we didn't know what we were gonna do.
Sorry. Okay, sorry, I'm gonna try and not make you all cry. Okay, I'm so proud and privileged to call the most beautiful, gorgeous, amazing lady we are all here for today, my mum, my best friend.
Tayla, Charlie, Maddie and I will miss you dearly, T. But know that from today, we will continue to grow and chase excellence, to wake up each day with excitement about the challenge ahead, to ensure we make you proud and to ensure that we evolve into the family you would have wanted. I am sad beyond belief, but I am so honoured and privileged to have had you in my life. I love you, Gorge.
My heart breaks every day for my dad. Mum was his best friend and he handled it like an absolute champion. Not only did he have to be strong for himself, he had to be strong for the three of us kids, and Mum did everything for us three kids, so Dad stepped in there and was like, whoa, what am I meant to do? I didn't know you had to get to practice. I didn't know I had to give you afternoon tea. I didn't know I had to pack your school lunch. He's been the most amazing role model to the boys and I just know Mum would be so, so proud of him. He has this idea going, you know, my best friend was a legend, I'm going to keep her legacy alive. This foundation that he set up's beyond incredible. You can't have a person like my mum just walk off the face of the earth. We needed a legacy. Mum was always big about helping people and always pushed for sport. When she was a PE teacher, she didn't want to go to the high-end school. She wanted to go help kids that weren't as fortunate. Dad was like, we need to help young women in sport. And we're going to be able to do that while keeping her legacy alive. It's started off very small. We weren't sure how we were going to make it work, and we look at it now and it is huge. Each year we take in 12 recipients, 2 girls on for each sport. They get $15,000 scholarship over 3 years. They get provided a mentor. You know, you've got Adine and Annie and Bernie, but then you've got some really high-end business people. And the mentor's there to help them over their 3 years, be someone to talk to, come watch their games. And then also along the side we have workshops. We have 2 or 3 a year. The girls come together in their class, they do vision boards, they learn how to present themselves on social media. All things like that that most young women in sport probably would never do in their lifetime if they weren't part of the foundation. When we're choosing these recipients, it's not the most talented girls always, it's the ones that have a story to tell and without our support might not achieve their potential. 3 years and then they become a part of our alumni group. These girls are my sisters, they'll be my sisters for life. You look at what some of them have done, they've gone and won Rugby World Cups, they're going to the Olympics, they're on New Zealand teams. Some of these girls couldn't even afford a pair of boots to play rugby. And now with the support of the foundation, the legacy that Mum created, I now look at what they can do and I'm like, oh my gosh, Mum would just be beaming with pride. It's been really cool for me to stay involved. I'm on the board, so that's been a real big growth journey for me. And then we've got the TDF Gala dinner every year, and it's a big party to bring Mum together, but also raise a lot of money for the foundation. And everyone around the country, everyone wants to be involved and help out.
It's pretty cool that one lady brought us all here together tonight and we're able to help these young girls get to where they want to get to. So thanks and love you all.
I think this journey over here really has helped shape me into the Tayla that I am today. I almost didn't come. I was such a home girl, and after what had happened with Mum, I was like, I need to be here for my dad and my brothers. They need someone. Dad can't do this all on his own, and I kind of felt like I had to take some of that weight. And then Dad and I talked about it, and he's like, Mum would be pissed at you if she knew she was the reason that you weren't going to go chase your dreams. I've become a lot more independent academically and socially. I've really figured out who I am. Being away from home and being away like not being smothered with love and having people there 24/7 has really made me grow up. I've had to go through a lot of adversity over here as well, but nothing as hard as losing your mum. And I think there will never be anything as hard as that, and I think that's why any challenge that gets thrown at me, I'll be able to overcome. When I got that call up saying, yep, Tayla, you're in the team, I was just like, holy shit. I've got to where I wanted to get to. This has been a dream for so long. Putting on that number 26 jersey at the Asia Cup in Sydney and seeing Dad in the crowd, you know, it gives you goosebumps thinking about it, singing the national anthem. It's so special. What Dad's very good with is he never lets your head get too big, never too high, never too low, and so he keeps me pretty grounded, and that comes back to Mum and Dad being so humble and again, never being too big for anyone. So I think while it's such a cool achievement, it's only the beginning of what's to come. I've always grown up and looked at Donna and I've just gone, wow, I would love to be able to not only represent New Zealand in one sport, but two. Netball's always been there at the back of my head, and so year 13 when I had to make that decision, all right, what way are you going? I chose basketball. I never hung up that netball dress and those netball shoes, and you know, don't want to speak it into existence, but netball's still on my radar. I've got a long way to go if I want to get there. I'm going to finish out this college experience here, keep trying to represent the Tall Ferns. Who knows, might try and play professionally basketball-wise, but if I can go back to New Zealand and give netball a crack, oh, that would be pretty cool if I could be a dual athlete. I'll have to make sure I get my footwork right, be ready to run that mid-court. And you know, you don't know what's going to happen, but I think if I got the opportunity to play netball again, I'd definitely put those netball shoes on in a heartbeat. A village has raised the boys and I, and that's thanks to who Mum is, who Dad is. We have had so many people that have supported us throughout the last 7 years, and I'd be doing a disservice to list everyone because I'd forget people, but I cannot believe how many people have been there for us and helped us through this time. And not only in that 6-month period after, but still now and coming to visit me in America. You know, our family's been incredible. Then you've got all the netball girls. You've got Annie, Adine and Bernie and Don's, they're all there. Then you've got Mum's besties and Jenny and Jackie. All my dad's friends, they've become other dads. But, you know, as a girl, you miss your mum, but I've got a lot of people that have stepped up, and Jenny and Jackie alone, they're coming to visit me here this weekend. So my other mums from New Zealand, Jenny and Jackie, have just arrived. They came this time last year for Mum's birthday actually, and the girls absolutely fell in love with them. They've come, they've brought little gift bags for everyone. They've got a feather for Mama T up there. What have the girls got in there? Some chocolate from home, a few little lollies, and then a pair of socks. These two women are just absolutely sensational. I feel very lucky to have a home away from home. When I think of Mum's greatest legacy, Mum made time for everyone. You know, everyone walked away from a conversation with Mum and they felt like they were her best friend. She lit up every room she walked into. She never took herself too seriously. She lived life to the fullest. When I think about how her legacy lives on, I would love to say that it's between the boys and I. And then I'd say like this foundation is a big part of keeping Mum's legacy alive and who she was about and helping people, making everyone around her better. The impact that women had on people, I think we all need a bit of Tania in our lives. If we had more people like Mum in the world would be a much better place.
Have a good one, take care, see you later. Until next time, go well.
Thanks for coming.
Thanks for coming.